Judge, it's the same charges, though, right? But just reworded. Can you explain what you just heard there?
Well, good morning, Emma, and good morning, Sean. A pleasure as always. The Supreme Court's immunity decision, whatever you think of it, was a body blow to the government and a body blow to this case because it basically said that no president, not just Donald Trump, no ex-president can be prosecuted for having engaged in official acts as the president, authorized by the Constitution or authorized by law. So Jack Smith and his team went back to the original indictment, which is 45 pages long, and reduced it to this one, which is 35 pages long, and removed from it the allegations which arguably were of official acts, namely using the Justice Department, interacting with the Justice Department to try and get the Justice Department to do certain things that Trump felt were correct under the law, but which would have impeded Joe Biden's ability to claim victory in certain states. So by removing the official acts from the indictment and leaving the same allegations supported by personal, non-official behavior, the government believes it has avoided and evaded the problems that would have been caused by the Supreme Court's immunity decision. Now, the government actually did Donald Trump a favor. Here's the favor they did to him. By filing this, what we call superseding indictment, it guaranteed there can be no trial before Election Day. Judge Chutkan was ready to order a trial date before Election Day. She simply cannot do that now because of all the new issues that the court will have to address as a result of this new indictment. The government also surprisingly did Donald Trump another favor, and that is it has said he doesn't have to personally appear for his arraignment. In the federal system, the defendant must always be there for an arraignment. You are Donald Trump. Yes. You do understand the charge against you? Yes. Okay, you can go home. But by telling him, we recognize he's running for president, he's out on the campaign trail, he doesn't have to appear. That's the second favor from an unexpected source.
Very interesting. Not to mention what we might anticipate with polls. Every time you charge Donald Trump with something, he seems to get more popular. I wanted to ask you, Judge, about what we heard from Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson briefly in Logan's report when she sat down on CBS. Is this something that Jack Smith is looking for? Perhaps the differences of ideology on the Supreme Court? Could she have given any sort of sign or signal to Jack Smith about what might be more acceptable as unofficial proceedings?
I think Jack Smith probably has that's a great question. I think Jack Smith has a good understanding of what the Supreme Court wants. The immunity decision was written by Chief Justice Roberts. It's very long. It's very detailed. Much of it is John Roberts' theory of government because this issue has never come up before. So most of that decision is not based on prior decisions. There's no precedent for it. I was surprised that Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson gave that interview. I know Supreme Court justices do that. My late great friend, Justice Scalia, was the first one to do it. He and I went back and forth a couple times about whether it's wise to do that. Justices really shouldn't give interviews explaining what their decisions meant. So which is the final word, the decision or what the justice said the decision meant? It's obviously the decision. So I don't think her interview is going to last beyond comments about it like this.
Just a few more seconds with you. Former President Trump was outspoken on Truth Social about the indictment, and he put out this post about DOJ policy that they should not take any action that would influence an election within 60 days of the start of the election. And he goes on about this. Is there any way that this indictment could be considered election interference based on the former president's words there?
So the DOJ policy is that. It's just a policy. It's not a statute. But I think that Jack Smith, in order to comply with that policy, got the indictment now because come September 6th, as the former president points out, we're within that 60-day period. Will this be an election issue? That's up to the Harris-Walz ticket if they want to raise one. They don't need advice from me, but they know history. Every time one of Trump's indictments is raised in the political venue, his polling numbers go up.